is bad. What is bad? Propaganda. Propaganda is bad. Now, before we get into this, I would like to ask one thing. Do you have a family teacher? If so, were they ever proud of your accomplishments? Why don't you make my family proud by giving me a good grade on this? 10 propaganda techniques. If you want to successfully brainwash people but don't quite know how, then this is the right slide for you. I will be going over 10 techniques used in World War II posters during the war. Number 1. Slogans. Slogans were catchy and easy to remember and repeat. This particular example I have here is an American poster saying, "Do it right, make it bite." This means to do what you're tasked with correctly, do it right, and winning overseas in the war, make it bite. The words rhyme and have the same syllables on each line, which makes it work as a slogan. Number 2, repetition. Something that was constantly drilled into your head is always going to stay on your mind, and may even inspire some decisions you make. Repetition does a lot, and that's exactly why the Germans had that famous line, "Hail Hitler," during the war. Translation: unfurl victory. Number 3, loaded words. Words that inspire and motivate someone is very important. You need to move the target audience so they join your cause. This American poster says, "Let's fight for victory," to provoke a motive to join the war, not just for the normal Americans, but also Latin Americans as well. The translation for that little word right there? It's on the bottom. Oh dear. Number 4. Appeals to our fears. If someone was threatening your national security, would you let that slide? He's watching you. Americans must watch out for enemies within the country, living amongst the normal folks. Anything you say will be heard by the spies, so avoid careless talk. No matter what you do, they're lurking, stalking, and coming out when you least expect it. That would make anyone scared, which is essentially the point of this technique. Number 5. Powerful images. Having eye-catching pictures will tend to make people look. That's why powerful images are very important. This US poster promoted the AAF, American Air Force, as being the greatest team in the world. This makes American citizens confident in their country and either convinces them to buy bonds or even join the military with a strong sense that they will help win the war. Number 6. Appeals to our basic desires and needs. The British and Russian people wanted victory, much like everyone else. In this poster, it shows that they were willing to unite together to gain that very thing, to take down Hitler and end the war. That was a shared desire amongst the people in Europe, so it reaches a broad audience. It was also somewhat a need to win, as Germany was going to take over the whole continent, which would not be the best outcome. Number 7. Scapegoating. It's easy to just pin the blame on someone else, and that's what the Germans did. They blamed the Jews for the war starting, and even depicted them as foul creatures in their propaganda posters. They weren't drawn very nice. Hitler thought maybe if he blamed the Jews, he wouldn't seem so bad. Translation: who is to blame for the war? Number 8. The bandwagon. If you're the only one not enlisted, you're pathetic and weird. That's what the bandwagon is. People in Britain took pride in their nation seriously, and if you didn't do the same, then can you really call yourself a citizen? The poster to the left says, "Who is absent? Is it you? Making people feel guilty for not being part of the army, making it seem unbelievable that you didn't join in to help. Number 9. Plain folk appeal. Longing him won't bring him back sooner. Appeals to all the loved ones of those who went off to war. The common folk. Inspiring those who can't fight to play their part back at home is a great way to have people get more money to buy bonds and to hold fort while everyone is away. And finally, number 10. Glorification of the leader. Cherishing one leader was important to dictators like Hitler. Being well known and loved was everything, and making the people glorify you was key. That's what Hitler and even Joseph Stalin did during the war, using posters like the one on the left to make people adore and follow his ideologies. Translation: one people, one empire, one leader. Thank you. That is all.